Welcome, college basketball fans, to the Full Court Press Podcast with LT and Sammy D. This is the podcast that brings you legendary stories from college basketball's golden era and dives in deep with a current analysis of today's game. Get ready for the most energetic and entertaining college basketball podcast around. Let's get it.
Hello and welcome to another Full Court Press, a college basketball coaches show powered by the Full Court Network. Luke Taylor here. I'm going one-on-one with our next guest. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review if you're watching us, whether you're on YouTube, pound the subscribe button, or you're watching us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Follow us on X and Instagram and wherever else you want to follow the Full Court Network. So I said to this fine gentleman, I got some good dirt on him. You want to know who? I'm going to tell him. So we have a gentleman who was a baller in college. The problem is he would have been a really good three-point shooter, but he kept stepping on the three-point line.
It could have been Patrick Beeline, John Beeline.
All right, we'll keep going. We're gonna make you think, but
it had to be one. It was definitely one of my teammates.
Oh, absolutely. But we got LaSalle head men's basketball coach Darris Nichols. Welcome to the Full Court Press, Coach.
I appreciate you having me.
Yeah. Do you want another hint?
Yeah, let me get another hint.
I'll give you one more hint. Okay. So you made him drive you everywhere. He was kind of like the modern day Uber driver in his 1998 Suburban.
Rob Summers.
I
didn't make it. No, let's get the story straight. I didn't make him drive everywhere. He had the nicest car, and he had, sound system, in the back, big Suburban. So everybody could fit in this car. So he hated driving, and he also kept track of, who gave him gas money and all that stuff. So nobody made him drive. So that's false. So when you talk to him, say nobody made him drive.
I was picturing him driving like a little car, as big as he is. I was hoping he'd be driving like a little Honda Civic or something, and he's in the back seat.
Yeah.
But so Coach, how's it going? I know a couple weeks in, hopefully, pretty good off season, really good schedule, really good non-conference schedule. How's it going the first couple weeks of season? You're 500 right now. You're playing some good ball and you're playing some good teams.
Yeah, it's tough right now. You're up and down. We're battling some injuries. We have 3 guys out who would be and are major contributors. So right now we're not at full strength, but we're trying to hold it together in this. I got 17 new guys trying to blend it together. The last game at Temple, I just felt like we got away from playing the right way, and then Penn State, we try to kind of play the right way more of the time. And I look at some of the guys on our team, and some of these guys are freshmen. Some of these guys didn't even play last year due to injury. So it's just a process trying to blend new personalities, new skill sets together. And I think that's what, we're kind of hitting right now, is trying to figure out, okay, how do we blend it all together?
Yeah. And it's interesting because you just, we talked a little bit about, social media. You lose a game and your season's over. I mean, how would you define success in year one? Like if you had to look at the mirror right after the last game, how would you define success this year?
People ask that question all the time. I really don't know how to answer it. Because success could be different things. It could be on the court, off the court. And I just look back, and sometimes you forget where you are in different parts of the season. And, after the Temple game, I had the same feeling. And I go back to some of the previous years when I was head coach, and I look at our game against Pittsburgh last year. And I just felt like it was kind of the same situation. We didn't move the ball. We didn't play the right way. We lose a game by 40. And then, over the course of the years, you just get better. Like, if guys handle it the right way, you can get better. So, I don't know what it looks like. I just want to continue to grow as a team, and where you are. Like you look at it, like some people have good months and then they're on top of the world, but you have a good December. Everybody's sweet. Oh, this team is the best team ever. You have a rough week. Oh, this is the worst team ever. Like it's, I don't know. It's just the world we're in and everything, not just college basketball. It's just what we do. So, um, it's just what you got to deal with.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you like I mean, obviously there's some things you don't like about it, but do you like the kind of college basketball landscape, that you pretty much have to turn over your roster every year? I mean, do you think there's some benefit, especially coming into a new situation,
Yeah.
that you could maybe be more competitive right off the bat instead of waiting a couple years?
I mean, it's got. I mean, you could do that, but you could also be bad. You could. Yeah, so
Never
people say,
thought
"Oh,
about
yeah,
that,
yeah."
coach.
You could also be bad. Like if you look at it like this, it's like people. What people do is teams that are generally good. They're going based off the names. And then there's times where, okay, well, this team, man, this team lost by 20 or 30 to this team, but you're going based off names. And now you can easily be good one year and easily be bad the next year. So you can't say, oh, you guys lost to so and so. They're usually not
Mhm.
good. Or they're teams that you see all these upsets and people say they're upsets and they're not. You don't know how good teams are going to be year to year. Nobody does.
Yeah, so you don't like preseason rankings then?
I mean, what are they? I mean, if we go based off preseason rankings, we might as well not play the season.
Yeah, we did it. It was actually funny, and you were sitting in that chair. So we did an A10 preview show, preseason show last year. We did actually all the conferences with usually two
Yeah,
coaches, and we had Coach Mooney from Richmond and Coach Dunphy from LaSalle. Okay, so we
yeah,
asked Coach Dunphy, and you've obviously probably got to know him a little bit. I mean, the guy's funny
yeah.
dude. And I said, Coach Dunphy, what do you think for the A10 this year? He's like, hold on a second, and he turns around and he's like, let me get a roster card. He's like, I don't even know who's on my roster.
Right, right. Yeah, and it's like, they ask us coaches do preseason rankings, and then I just like most of the time I have to ask my staff like, who is this guy? Who is this guy? Who is this guy? And then I may know a few kids from prior relationships recruit no more. They come to elite camp or something like that. But other than that, I'm like, I don't know who anybody is.
Yeah.
And so you're asking us to do something based off limited information. So what's easy for people to do is pick the teams that have the most roster retention. So what does roster retention equal? That means you usually have more money. So when you have more money, it's easier to retain players. So
Mhm.
that all people are doing when they do the preseason rankings is following the money.
Yeah. 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 I used to like the song Mo Money, Mo Problems, but maybe that's a little bit different in college basketball.
Yeah, I mean, well, you
Mo
can
money,
always
mo
pay.
better.
I mean, you can always pay the wrong guys too.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Yeah.
happens in the NBA.
Well, I got some eligibility. I think you even might have a year, the way we're going at. You could probably
Yeah,
still play a bit. But what attracted you to LaSalle? I mean, I know it's the A10, it's a multi-bid league usually. You've got a brand new basketball arena. You know, you obviously had a good thing in Radford. I mean, that you're from the area, from the Radford area, obviously. Like, what attracted you to LaSalle?
I wanted a new challenge. Um,
You
like
were a point guard. You were a point
yeah,
guard. That's the problem. Point guards always want new challenges.
yeah. I wanted a new challenge, like higher level. The A10's a great conference. Just when I sat down and met with Ashpuri, the AD, and Dan Allen, the president, I saw their vision for LaSalle University. I saw their vision for LaSalle basketball,
Mhm.
and I thought it aligned. And so, that's what really drew me to LaSalle.
Yeah, yeah. Did you have any conversations with any of your fellow colleagues about the A10 before you took the job?
No, because if I had conversations, it would have been all on social media.
Yeah.
So, I like when I make a decision, I don't want anybody's feedback because I'm the one that has to live it. So it's
Yeah.
I just thought, okay, I kind of move around based off feel and,
Yeah.
make those decisions.
Yeah. So did you make the right choice is what you're saying?
Yeah, I did. I would never say I made the wrong choice. sometimes, sometimes you make the wrong choices, but you got to respond to it. But
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Yeah, yeah. So one of the players that's very interesting to me is Jerome Brewer Jr. Okay, came from
Yeah,
East Texas A&M University. Didn't really play, I believe, at all last year. You know,
yeah.
uh, how do you take a kid like that? And he's your second leading scorer.
Um, sometimes you have to go back. Because I think in this era of the portal, the interview process is even more important. Trying to figure out who they are, what happened, what's the story. So, obviously he was at McNeese last year, but he was hurt, so he sat out. But you go back to watch his film at Commerce, and he's a kid from the area. We know a lot of his people, and so you kind of get an understanding of okay who he is, or what he can do, how he can help. But there's a lot of guys who may have sat out the year before, so we have quite a few of those guys, and they're just now getting back into the flow of the highs and lows of a game. So, some of them are trying to work through all of that right now, and they haven't done that in 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty crazy when the portal first became really prevalent. Everybody's like, oh, all these, and no offense to your program, high major or mid major, you're gonna get picked. And
Yeah,
you kind of are some of these programs more so than others. But what you're seeing is you're not seeing the back end where guys are maybe going up another level before, not going to the power fives, or they're coming down, and you're
yeah,
seeing a lot of success. We're just talking about the handful of guys, the Dalton Connects, the Chaz Laniers, types of those players, but we're not talking about the Jerome Brewer Juniors, the Jaden Marshalls of the world. You know,
yeah.
you look at, like, Brian Moore at Norfolk State. He's
Right.
going to do well at Grand Canyon. So I wish there was more of a spotlight on guys like that and have improved their situation. I think the portal, everybody talks about the negative, but there are some positives.
Yeah. No, there are, and
Yeah.
the positives are. I think the positives are that student athletes do have rights to move around, and I think the hard part is they opened up two major things at the same time. I don't think it was. I think it was always about them getting paid. It became about them not having rights to move around when they weren't getting paid. So then we opened up two things at once.
Hmm.
But what nobody's talking about is okay, we're going to have a generation of college students, if they keep transferring, who got paid pretty good money, um, but don't have their degree. So if you transfer every year, you lose credits. So if you're the last school, you have to try to make sure, okay, well, what do we have to do to graduate? So nobody's talking about that part of it. Everybody's just
Yeah.
talking about the money and the freedom to move around, but um, we're not being the odds for the future.
Yeah. 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 Now, you obviously had a pretty good college basketball career. I'll be honest, Frank Young was one of my favorites on your team. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. Hopefully he was a good dude. Um,
no, it's a great
but
dude.
you look at all. Oh, well, that's cool. You know what? That makes me feel like I made good
Yeah,
choices on who I cheered for
yeah,
in
no,
my
great dude.
college best. Yeah. So you have a lot of that team has a lot of head coaches. One
Yeah,
is a successful NBA coach, Big Rob, who's the tallest. The one award he's already won is the tallest, I believe, head coach in Division 1 this year.
yeah,
Um, I told him he needs to stand on his knees to kind of make the referees feel not so threatened, but he kind of liked that idea actually. But so you look at who you played for. Okay,
hmm
John Beeline for 3 years and Bobby Huggins for a year. How do you think they would have handled the current landscape of college basketball?
Um, I don't think they would have liked it. I mean, I
I mean,
think
we know
Hugs.
we know Bobby Hug we know Hugs would have not liked it. Let's be
I mean,
honest.
the thing about Hugs is he wouldn't change. He's not going to change. Like so, I think the people that get so worked up in this environment are the people that um, say, okay, well, I have to do this, or I have to, I don't want to lose this player. I have to, I have to tell him this or whatever. I don't think he would have changed, which could have been good or bad. Um,
Mhm.
but I don't know, and I think Beeline was he's such he did such a good job at player development that I think that you don't really have time to develop these guys anymore. Like if you don't get them already developed to a certain extent, then it's like, how are you going to win? So
Mhm.
you look at how Beeline did it. Like he would take some kind of under the radar dudes and develop them. But we know, like now, you take a under the radar high school recruit who weighs 165 pounds like Karis LeVert. He's not really
Oh,
making impact against 23
oh,
year olds. But you know how Beeline had him and developed him, put on weight, put on size, got better and better, and look, he's an NBA guy. So I don't know how he would have done. I mean, obviously he's a great coach, but the philosophies of how he did it are different than maybe the speed dating and all the stuff that's going on now.
yeah, 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 yeah. Do you think you would have thought of transferring once Beeline left and Coach Huggins came in? Would you have, if you were now, would you have ever considered it?
So what happens now is, when we were playing, so you're trying to blend the times. So back then you had Facebook, and Facebook just started, and it was only for
MySpace,
college students.
MySpace was prevalent.
Yeah, yeah. So you only had that. So there wasn't a lot of people that could get a hold of you. So now,
Yeah.
these guys have Instagram, Twitter, whatever. So
Oh,
agents, anybody can get a hold of them. Like you live in a
yeah,
scary world where anybody can get in touch with anybody. So
yeah,
if I was playing, if it was the same way now in terms of the access to players, yeah, because somebody would as soon as John Beeline left, I would have had a flood of DMs of
yep,
different college coaches and saying I can pay you this, I can pay you that. So yeah, well, I would, but
yeah,
it was a different era in terms of communication as well.
yeah, yeah. What I would love to do at the next NABC convention is just lock every head coach in a room and just see what happens. Because
Yeah,
we're hearing stories, and I'm not, we're hearing stories of like deals being made in handshake lines, like, hey, if you come to our school, it's a conference foe, we'll give you X, and the head coach tells us, said to the kid said, hey, coach, this is what happened yesterday. And you know what the coach said to him? The head coach said to him, it's like, man, that's a great deal.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I'd rather people just call me and tell me. The other coaches, like I've had situations where, people have reached out to some like the thing is a lot of the people that are doing the backdoor deals or whatever, they don't understand how close some of us are. Like so
Oh,
I've had some people call about some of my college teammates players and I call them and say, hey man, I'm just telling you like so and so's, they're shopping them around or whatever and they say I appreciate it. Like so a lot of them don't do their research on how close people are. And
yeah,
so, we get calls all the time, but we know what's going on. So, what are you going to do about it? I just want to know. I just need the information. Um, the times where guys are really getting recruited, around Thanksgiving, which is coming up, and then Christmas time.
jeez. Well, if you need someone, I'm available. I'm 49, three kids, and I don't think I can touch my toes anymore. But I'm good for at least 2 minutes, coach. I'm good for at least
Yeah,
two runs up and down the floor. I'll give you so much
I
intensity and
think
passion.
I
Philadelphia will
think
never
you
be the same.
I think you'll be stuck in a portal for a while.
I'm still waiting for Coach Joyce at Duquesne to take me. I've known that guy for years. Still no
Well, I
phone
hope
calls.
I hope he takes you because we got to play him.
Oh, that's cold. That's cold. All right, we're gonna go a
Yeah.
little shot clock. We're gonna have a little bit of fun. Not that we haven't had fun. Hopefully, we've had some fun. So I'm gonna ask you just a couple quick questions. Some one word answers. If you've got a story, go after it. You don't have to give me a story in one word because that'd be kind of difficult. Which we've had coaches try to do that, which is comical. But all right, we're gonna have a little fun. So, what would you say in your head coaching career you use on a daily basis from Coach Beeline and also from Coach Huggins?
From Coach Beeline, I would say pivoting. He worked on a lot of pivots. Um, with Hugs, I would talk about rebounding.
Yeah. 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 Okay. You can actually pivot on a rebound. It's kind of fun, right?
You gotta get it first.
Yeah. Well, I feel like who's going to text Coach Joyce first, me or you, saying that you should sign me? All right. So toughest arena you've either played in or coached in?
Played in definitely the Carrier Dome.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's just huge, huh?
it's huge. You could feel wind drafts going through there, and we were playing them when they were obviously Bayheim was there. They had a 2-3 zone, and they had 6'10", 6'9" across the back line. So yeah, I would
Yep.
say Carrier Dome.
Yep. Yep. What about coached in?
Coached in, I would say,
Who's the unkindest fans to you?
Longwood for sure.
Yeah, that was easy.
Yeah,
I used to work the Big Orange basketball camp, so I exactly know what you're saying about the Carrier Dome. Plus, there's so many.
yeah,
There's all these stairs. It's stairs everywhere. You got to go stairs here, stairs there. But
yeah,
I will tell you, I've played pickup in the Carrier Dome with a lot of the Syracuse guys, and it's not, if you're not used to it, it's terrible for shooting. Like the
oh
sight
yeah,
lines are just rough. I mean, especially if you're shooting away from it where they've got the curtain and stuff like that. But
yeah, yeah.
you know. All right. Give me your all-star team from your playing days. You can't have any of your teammates on the team. Give me your starting five
All star teams from. Okay,
when you were playing in college.
okay. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. Okay, I'm gonna go Big East. I'm gonna
Love
go
it.
point guard. Couldn't guard this dude. It's so hard to guard. I'm gonna go Levance Fields from Pitt.
Oh,
Um,
he was good.
Two guard. I'm gonna go. He's just solid. Won't be like yeah, he's just solid. I'm gonna go Jonathan Wallace from Georgetown. I'm gonna go at the three. I'm going Jeff Green from Pitt. Not Jeff Green from
Georgetown.
Georgetown. At the four, I'm going um, Charlie Villanueva from UConn.
Oh,
At the five, I'm going Aaron Gray. I'm going real big.
dude, people don't understand how good Pittsburgh was back in the day.
Oh man, they were a handful.
We've had Jerry Mack on the show a couple times, and he said, Pittsburgh was just rough to play.
Oh, it's brutal.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, all right. Give me your best recruiting story.
Best recruiting story. Okay, I'm recruiting a kid from Winchester, Virginia, and I try to find stories behind every player I recruit, like why I think they'll project out and be pretty good. So I
Mm-hmm.
go see this kid. He's 6'8", probably a little bit overweight at the time. Um, so I go up to see him, and I find out he's like been working a side job to help his mom, who I don't know if she just been furloughed or whatever, laid off or whatever. And so I find out he's working at Chick-fil-A. And so like he's in school, so I go over to Chick-fil-A and I talk to the manager and I say, "Hey, how was Kim Jackson like as a worker?" He's like, "Oh, he's great. He's got a great personality, but sometimes he's a few minutes late to work." I'm like, "Okay, this kid comes to work late, whatever." So I asked Cam, I'm like, "Hey, hey, how do you get to work?" And he says, "I walk." So then obviously I had his house address, because I sent letters to him, whatever. So I calculated how far the his job was from his house where he had to walk to and from, and it was 2 miles each way. And I'm like, this kid's walking 2 miles each way to help his mom, and his mom kept telling him, "Hey, I don't need help, Cam. You just focus on basketball. Don't worry about me." And so I was at Wofford at the time, and I called Mike Young and I said, "Hey, coach, like we got to get this dude, like." And I told him the story, and he was like, "Yeah, yeah, we got to get him." And coach was a little worried because he's a little bit overweight. I mean, and then I didn't get to coach Cam because I left and went to Louisiana Tech. But you fast forward, Cam's still playing in Japan, and he was inducted to the Wofford Hall of Fame last year.
Wow.
So just stories like that, trying to find like where they put others in front of themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. You almost wish he was born in the NIL era for situations like that. That's where it's, could help, right?
Right, right, for sure.
So how was he a little bit overweight if he was walking 2 miles each way?
Well, I think he was getting a lot of food
Chick-fil-A
to go.
milkshake. You know what
Yeah,
I'm talking about.
yeah, the
That's my
peach ones.
problem. Yeah. I'll get one for each way.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, all right. So if you were a spirit animal, what would you if you were an animal, what would your spirit animal be? Trying to figure this one out. We got dinosaur last week, which was weird.
Um, Spirit animal. Sheesh, that's a good question. Ah, hmm, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go meerkat.
Ooh, a meerkat.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I like that. That's aggressive.
So, yeah.
That
Well, I don't
that's
think they're great. I think they're just. I think they're just kind of sit back and really observe it. Obviously, I think it's kind of observe.
okay. Okay. All right, last question. This one's going to be a deep one. This will tell us a lot about you. Tell the world all about you. All right. So they're doing a Hollywood movie on your life. Okay.
Yeah.
Who would play you? I know who. Who would play you? What would the title be? And what would the theme song be?
It'd be Denzel. It'd be Denzel.
I want to be
you,
Denzel.
you said what does the title be?
Yeah, what would the title of your movie
It would
be?
be it would be like a biography. It'd be there's no you in Darris, and I say that because everybody calls me Darius, and my name's not Darius.
Well, it rhymes with Harris.
Yeah. And the
Darius.
theme song.
Didn't you have a teammate
Ah,
named Darius on your team or no?
they shine.
Deshaun. Oh,
Yeah,
Deshaun Butler. He was good.
yeah, yeah. He's really good. He's
He
with
was,
the Celtics now.
yeah, he's
He's with
smooth.
the theme song.
What would your walkout song be? That's even a better one.
Walkout song. Mm, the Takeover by Jay Z.
Oh, okay. I like that. All
Yeah.
right. I like that. I like that. All right, Coach. Last question we got for you. How excited should LaSalle Explorer fans and alumni and boosters be for year one of the Darris, not Darrius Nichols era?
I think really, I mean, really excited. I think it's just new energy. Obviously, new players. It's hard for fans, and tell people all the time, it's hard for fans to understand the
Hmm.
new landscape and get excited about it because you feel like if you know the players, you pull for them even more. Like,
Yeah.
when I was at West Virginia, it was okay. You saw us as freshmen and you grew with us.
Yep.
Those days are over. Um, and wow, I would like them to still be like that. You can't, but I think it's just a situation, get to know different people and their stories. And, um, I'm excited for the fans to see our guys' stories and see them grow. Like, you're going to see them grow within 1 year. And, just kind of where we are right now. It's not, where you're going to be in February, March. So that's probably the biggest thing I'm excited for.
Yeah. 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 We're going to stick on for one more second while we upload. I guess why would you say point guards make the best head coaches?
I think that if you're a real true point guard, it's not about a position, it's a mindset. And I'm on my point guards all the time about understanding people and understand how to lead and understanding, okay, like I'll ask my point guard sometimes, like when I get a feel for one of our players being different, I say, hey, what's wrong with so and so today? And they'll say, I don't know. I don't notice a difference. I'm like, well, if you don't notice a difference, you're not a real point guard because you got to understand people.
All right. Well, check out the LaSalle Explorers. Darris, they call him Darius Nichols. That's what I see. I'm gonna be like, it's not Darris,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Darius. But no, we were appreciate. I really wish you would have learned not to step on the 3-point line because you might have been the career 3-point leader in West Virginia history, according to
I
Rob
wouldn't.
Summers.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Just trying to be nice, but
Yeah. Tell Rob to get the story straight. Nobody made him drive. Nobody made him drive.
I might have switched what he said. I got to look at what he texted me.
Rob had the nicest car. So
I mean,
naturally, what do? We're not riding around Morgantown and beat up Bonneville that I had.
well, Coach, we really appreciate you're going to stick on one more second. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review, whether you're watching us now on YouTube on the Full Court Network YouTube channel or on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Follow us on X. And what else we got? Instagram. We'll be back next week. We hope you guys have a safe and happy Thanksgiving. We'll be back next week on the Full Court Press, a college basketball coaches show.